Hey guys, so I am so excited that everyone is here to see this very special episode. If you follow me, you know that I love all things spooky, haunted, ghosts, spirits. I normally do tarot readings, but on this episode, we are going to dive into the paranormal world and talk about hauntings and ghosts and spirits. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned because you're going to want to hear what we're going to talk about today. I am your host, Brianna, and we're going to start with my mom. This is my mom, Michelle.
Hey, guys.
And she's a very pivotal person because she's the one who kind of got me into this stuff because growing up, she was always into ghosts and reading near-death experience books, psychic medium. Anything else you want to add?
NDE, spiritual, always had dreams. I mean, everything was always, I was interested in all of it. Everything under the sun to do with spiritualness.
Yes. So she's had some spooky experiences. So I was like, you need to come here for today's episode. And then we have Melissa, who I actually met her. I got myself my own psychic medium reading from her before I even had tarot cards, before I even had my own channel. And so this has come full circle, right?
It has. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you're using your gifts. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And then we have Melissa's friend, Gina, who she brought. And this is where it's going to get fun because she is a paranormal investigator. So I want to hear, how did you get into paranormal investigating?
It's really cool that you started off with your mom because my mom got me into investigating.
Okay.
She actually took me on my first investigation over in Alton, Illinois. I think I was about 15 or 16. And she was like, let's do something different for Halloween. Obviously I'm not trick-or-treating at that age and I'm wanting to go out and party. But my mom was like, let's go do this Antoinette's haunted tour of Alton. And I was like, down. So it was kind of, that exposed me to the actual tours part of it. Before that, I've had some experiences that I was kind of like, that's kind of weird. So I was already kind of into it. But yeah, my mom's the one who actually got me into it. And then Mother's Day, a couple years ago, we both got matching ghost tattoos.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's fun.
Cool.
I've been to Alton, Illinois, and it's supposed to be very haunted.
Yeah, we investigated it.
Yeah, there's a lot of places over there. Really, the whole land over there is got a lot of stories and a lot of history and a lot of things you can dig into and just read about all this crazy stuff that happened over there. It's a good spot.
Yeah. So do you feel like it's your calling, doing this kind of work?
A little bit, yeah. I've always been naturally excited about it and interested in it. And I've never really been super scared of it. And we've had some crazy things happen. And I mean, sure, we've had a few jump scares, but even after some of the scariest stuff or the weirdest, I wouldn't even say all scary, but some of the weirdest stuff, we still keep coming back for more. Yeah.
So,
how can you not?
And I know that you guys are going to want to know this. Protection. How do you keep a spirit or a demonic presence from following you home? Because I know a lot of you write to me and ask me these questions, how to clear a space, how to do it the right way. Some people are even scared of tarot cards for that reason alone. So how do you guys, when you go do these things, how do you protect yourself?
You want to?
I do several things, but I did want to add that I got started from my mom, too. Because my mom is a psychic medium.
We have a lot in common
and
here.
The universe brought us together for a reason.
But really, it runs deep in my bloodline. So my great-grandmothers on both sides of my family did some sort of spiritual work, but they didn't want to be thrown in jail. So it was all a big secret, but they had reputations of helping people. And I come from a long line of healers. So my mom was doing readings, I don't know, in the 80s and the 90s. And it just never was taboo growing up for me. So my family, my grandmothers are Catholic, and then I was raised Lutheran. So we always went to church, and my mom taught me to say my prayers. So I believe now whatever you believe works for you, and that's what you should do. But you can always tell if I get scared, because I'll be like, in the name of Jesus, get away from me.
Yes.
There's a video of me, and I'm like, someone sent this to my grandmother. I mean, she's, God rest in peace, but she would have been proud. She was like, yeah, because she used to always say that. She's like, nothing can hurt you. Nothing can come home with you. She's like, if you have the spirit around you. So I think that's where I normally go. But a lot of times I maybe sprinkle some salt around myself, or I think as women, our jewelry is protection, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like your wedding ring, that's women, you know, you don't think about things that we do in our everyday lives. When I get home from a reading or home from an investigation, even if I just showered, I always take a shower.
Okay.
I make myself, even though sometimes I'm so tired, almost like you just got off work, because I'm rinsing off everybody else's and everything, all the other energy off of me. And if I don't, I will wake up the next day feeling hungover from the energy.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. No one's ever said that about the shower.
Well, you don't always have time to take a salt bath. Okay, it's great. I do it sometimes. But like we have families. Who has time to do that every day?
Yeah.
So I just imagine the drain, because everything I think is intention. So I just imagine, you know, and I can't wash my hair every day. You're a curly girl. You can't either, right? So I can imagine like washing my hair or washing my face, washing my body. And I imagine it just going down the drain and leaving me. And sometimes I even throw like Epsom salt or other salt in the bottom and I stand on it.
Yep. Ground.
Yeah. You know, going outside.
Yeah.
With your shoes off. But also, I think it's really important when you walk through the threshold of your home to be like, this isn't for me anymore. Only anything that's entering this house is for our highest good. You know.
All about intention.
Yeah.
Now, at the hospital, have you experienced any hauntings at the hospital? I mean, that's an interesting concept to put the two together, right?
I can feel things further away from me. A lot of times things won't come really close to me because I have big boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're creepy, you're a creep, back off of me. You know, like I can know that you're around me without you being right on me. So sometimes I'll walk through certain areas and, you know, I actually will use my hands and be like, not today. You know, get away from me. And you even will see that sometimes in our investigations, and they'll pick up more like right after I leave sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're afraid of you.
I was just going to say they're scared of
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, because the living, you have the right of way.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like nothing dead is stronger than us being alive.
Yeah. We have physical bodies.
But I grew up in a very haunted house.
Okay. And
A
so
very,
did you.
very
So
scary
did I.
haunted house.
Yes.
Everybody was like upset when the house sold. I said, "Thank you, bye." You know,
Parents never thought it was haunted. Me and my sister knew. We had stuff
My
happen.
mom had like a poltergeist situation.
Yeah, we did. We at different times did too.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah. Well, tell them about your poltergeist situation.
Yeah, tell us.
Which one? Which instance are you talking
Just
about?
with the one, whatever one you feel drawn to share.
Oh gosh. Well, the one that comes first to my mind, me and my sister, I was probably 12 and she was 6. And I was babysitting her. Parents were out and we're in my bedroom and we're just hanging out, and I don't know how else to describe it. We just all of a sudden hear this noise. And when I say noise, I'm talking hundreds of people outside my bedroom window. And I'm getting the feeling.
Me too.
I'm getting the feeling that I felt when I was 12 every time I tell it. So it sounded like they were screaming in agony, in pain. It was horrible. It was like something you'd hear in hell. And we were terrified. We didn't know. I mean, I was like, do I pull my curtains open and look? Hell no. I'm not going to do that because I was scared shitless. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, what do I do? My sister, she's scared. And we just sat there and waited for it to end. We didn't know what to do. And I would say it lasted, it's so hard to know, 5 minutes, which is a long time when you're little. And so when it stopped like that. There was no, it faded off. Whoever it was outside ran away. No, it was like someone closed a book and it was done.
That's the time, puberty. That's when poltergeists appear to families.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
It's because the energy.
Maybe so.
It's
I
because
don't know
all
what it
the
was, but-
energy isn't
More so
settled.
with females.
Yeah. You probably know more about it than I do, actually.
No, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's adolescence. It's when a lot of hormones, a lot of emotions
I have heard
come
that
into
before,
play.
but at the time we didn't we were terrified. And my parents got home and we were like, this is what happened. And they were like, oh, it was the neighbor kids, I'm sure. You know, they didn't know what to say.
Sure.
But it was freaky.
So in this situation, if they called you and were like, this happened, come investigate, what would you do with that?
So on our paranormal team, someone would reach out to us. We would want to do like an interview and kind of get the full story. We also like to interview just to protect ourselves, because you might have some weirdos trying to get a bunch of girls in a building
Right.
by themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we would start off with like an interview, collect stories, try to do any research. We would actually leave Melissa out of it in the beginning. We wouldn't want to give her any information that would sort of give her an idea. We'd want everything to be natural, whatever she thought of or felt or saw. So myself and the other teammates would start digging into it, and then we would, if it was a case that we decided to take, then we would schedule something and come over and talk to everybody in the house who wanted to talk to us, and then maybe stay the night and just see it would depend also like what the person wanted out of it. So if they just wanted us to set up equipment and kind of record all night and see what we caught, we could do that. Or we would kind of talk about a game plan and what they would want out of it. Or we could come in and actually like try and communicate and see if we can catch anything like that. Or I don't know. It just depends on. We've had a lot of different types of requests.
I have to ask. Have you ever seen anything?
What do you mean?
Seen something? Have you
Me?
ever seen either one of you? Because you both do the investigations, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, have you ever seen an entity or heard
She
an entity?
definitely has. I've seen some weird stuff as well. But what we see is a little bit different. I usually see something manifest into some sort of physical form, if that's what you want to call it. But you see it.
Do you mean like a shadow? Like a shadow?
Yeah.
But you see like something.
When I was younger, I would see full body apparitions. When you have the light in you and things that are of a darker, more negative energy, I call them roaches or creeps, whatever you want to say, demonic. I just try not to use that term. I don't want to draw things too close because that's not really my vibe. But especially in children, it can sense, and when there's some sort of, like, say something's off, right? Like the home or the family dynamic or just something's off, right? Then things of lower energy, just like in the living, lower energy people will attach to you when you're not at your highest vibration. And children are more susceptible, right? Because you'd be open to everything. So that's why kids a lot of times would be like, oh, I saw so-and-so walking through the house, or I saw this, or I heard this, and it just really, scared me, and it was so visual, and children are visual. So as you get older and it changes and you mature, sometimes the way that you see and perceive energy is different. So you might, see a shadow or feel something, but there are certain places where I still have had those full body apparitions, like when we were at, what's the name of that jail that we went to?
We've been to a couple jails.
The Jefferson City.
Oh,
Mopen.
Yep.
In Jefferson City. It was like I was in a live action movie, and it was like horrible scenes of things like imprints, so residual energy. So it wasn't like maybe live, it could have been, but it was like I was like watching a movie, and so people are like, oh, you do investigations, are you going there? I'm like, I'm not going there again. I don't need to go. I don't need to.
That one was really overwhelming for you because there's like 4 different buildings and a lot of things that.
I don't think I could go into a place like that, honestly. I went into a house with my mom when she was a realtor, and right when I walked in, I knew something was off. People weren't home. It was just me and my mom. Went through the whole house. We're looking through. We get upstairs. There's a huge snake. Huge snake in this aquarium. And as soon as I walked in, I knew that's what it was. Me and snakes are not.
Me neither. I was telling you guys about a story before. Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah. I think snakes, that's a universal thing. Like, everyone associates snakes with.
I had an experience with a snake when I was probably like 4 or 5, and since then I can't.
I can't either.
So I don't know if I could go in a prison or a jail. I honestly don't know. I would get sick, I think, if I tried.
I mean, it was intense, for sure.
Yeah, intense.
It was intense, and there's just other things I could do with my time besides experience that.
I'm only laughing because this is very like this is very part of our dynamic where Melissa's like, I have to go in here. I don't want to be in here. It's gross, this weird
Someone
stuff.
have a flashlight.
And then here I am going, where? Can I go sit there? Point where you don't want to go, that's where I'm going to go. So, so even if it wasn't like a personal case, like you were saying with your experience, if we were just like, hey, we want to go check out this building, again, we would not. There have been times where we didn't even tell Melissa where we were going. We would just like give her an address, because what we want to do is make sure that, you're validated in the things that you're saying and feeling and seeing, because we didn't give her any information.
Right.
But we might have the research we did or the interviews we did and watch them match up. And when they do, it's a wild experience to watch her work and bring stuff up that we have found and going,
very cool.
How did she even know that? So that's actually
that's cool.
But I actually think that's why you're so cool. Because like you can do all the equipment and you have like this whole techie side, and I'm more of a hippie chick that's like, okay, just tell me where to be and when to be there. Like they do like
You're a good pair. You're a good match for that.
Yeah, they do hours and hours and hours of preparation. And then I just show up like, okay, tell me what not to trip on.
Yeah.
Make sure I have a flashlight.
Yeah. Melissa's our rock star. She just walks in. She's like, I'm here.
And they did all the
I have
work.
arrived.
And then she's like, oh, this is too much. I gotta go. Bye, guys.
Like, I made my appearance.
For some reason, they still like me. I don't know why.
Well, because she's good.
You pack a punch.
That's it. Yeah.
So, talking about kind of how we got started, our team was looking for a medium for a real long time. And I believe it's real, but I also believe there's a lot of fakes out there. Mm-hmm. Prior to Melissa, we had run through a few that we had tested, and I just wasn't buying it. And then Melissa ran into some friends of mine at a concert. Was that right?
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
I was selling food for my mom's restaurant.
Well, that's a synchronicity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
And
I didn't want to do it.
For sure.
Like, it was...
Little did you know.
So my friends were like, hey, my friend's looking for a medium for her paranormal group. And you were like, nobody's ever... Like, what are you talking about? So we exchanged info, and I was like, well, just come out with us. And I was literally like, this is the last one. I don't want to do this anymore, right? Because I didn't want our team to be known for faking anything or exaggerating. So I was like, all right, have her come out, right? So then we kind of met up, and we had like a little bit of an interview, you, me, and Emily and Alton, actually. And then we went on our first case, which was...
No, the first thing was Emily. So Emily's our other teammate. One of our other teammates. So I meet her friends in the middle of nowhere, and I read them like on the spot, one of them. And he was like, my friend needs a medium. And I started laughing. I'm like, look, nobody needs a medium. I'm like, you sound like you're bullshitting. Sorry. I was like, no one believes you. This is weird. And then Emily called me, and we talked for like an hour or something. And then you guys just gave me an address. Right? And then my brother drove me, and we were like, arguing on the way there.
Can I at least bring someone with me so I know you're not taking me in the middle of the woods? And we were like, yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
And my brother's going, the building is gray or something, and I'm going, the building's blue, and he's like, it's gray, it's blue, and we're like arguing, and we show up, and half of the building is renovated, and the other half isn't, and one half's blue and one half's gray. I remember.
That's a good lesson on following your intuition, and if someone else gets something else, always trust what you're getting, because you're getting it for a reason. And that's just like, that's like a perfect, I feel like everyone was supposed to hear that. I feel like a lot of people right now, they're like nodding their head. They're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm having problems with my intuition. I just felt that. Like,
and it really bothers me when people tell other people that they're wrong. Like, just because I told you something and that's what I got, and in your head, you're like, I think it's this. Like, who am I to tell you that what you think isn't what it is? Because it's
right.
And I don't like that sometimes with people who do spiritual work. Like, don't rain on somebody else's parade.
Right. We're all just channeling energy.
Yeah.
And sometimes the human brain can only process, you get this energetic download and you have to try to translate it. And if it comes through someone else, their brain's going to translate the energy a little bit different. But the point of the message should be the same, But I just think that's really cool how you guys were both right, and your intuition, it's like you guys were just picking up on different energetic things. That's a perfect example for anyone who's trying to kind of like get into this work. It's just a good reminder,
Yeah.
She blew us away that night, and we kept her. We said, "No, you're not going anywhere."
So what's
You're ours.
what's the creepiest, like scariest, spookiest thing you've had? I want to hear both of you guys. Like, what was the thing that you're like, oh my God, I got to get out of here?
We got to know.
Yeah.
We got to hear this.
I don't know if I've actually had I got to get out of here. That's kind of what I search for, is that feeling. That's kind of one of the reasons
You want to dig deeper, don't you?
I do. Like, I'm looking for that experience. Not to
adrenaline.
say that it doesn't freak me out in the moment, because it does, but one that comes to mind, there's a few, but one that comes to mind is I was at a place called Ashmore Estates, and there are many stories of a really tall shadow figure there. And I had been to Ashmore Estates many times. I really like that place, but I had never seen him, right? So it was kind of like maybe one day, right? So I was actually giving a class there that night. I was doing a Paranormal 101 with a group of, 10 or 15 people. It's the very end of the night. We had a great time. 2 girls were left, and we are in the main room. And another teammate of ours was sitting next to me, and he goes, "Do you see that in the back corner?" And I'm like looking back there, and it's like a room away. So you're, if you try to stay level-headed about it, and you're like, maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. But it did look like the shadow was kind of moving around. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. So we're sitting there watching it, and this thing got bigger, came out of the room and walked down the hallway, and it was like 2
Walk
legs
down the hallway.
and a torso, but no top. But it was a shadow person, and it went. You could see it do this, and that was like the holy grail for me. It was everything I've ever wanted to experience in my 20 years of doing this. So I went. And I actually started crying, because it was just like we call it the confirmation cry.
Yeah.
And I was so excited and freaked out, and I was like, "This is it. This is the moment, right?" And the 2 girls in front of us I didn't even notice them screaming, getting under the chairs, because they're watching the investigators freak out. So they're like, "Well, it's my time to freak out." And then it just dissipated down the hall, and we had cameras set up, but of course the cameras were on me, not the hall. So we got my reaction to it, but we didn't get the actual figure going down the hallway. But you can see, like, I'm just like, and I wasn't scared, but it did take me a minute to be like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was really exciting. So that's definitely one of the top 5, I would say, for me.
What about
seeing
you,
the shadow
Melissa?
figure? Yeah.
It's your spookiest.
While you were saying that, my brain was going, what is a scary thing? Okay, so I've seen a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But the most scary experience, because it involved my daughter Maya, she was a baby, and we were in the spooky house that I grew up in. And the area that I grew up in has a reputation of a lot of people seeing shadow figures and it being just very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was having a really bad dream. That because most things can't come to me when I'm awake, but sometimes in my dreams. It's actually been happening a lot in this eclipses and this full moon that's been happening. But anyways, so Maya's a baby. I'm laying in bed, and I'm dreaming about walking down the basement steps. And when I get to the basement steps, there was this boy that, I don't know, he looked like someone I went to school with, like in elementary school. And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm talking to him, and I'm like, "You're not supposed to be here. Like, what are you doing here?" And then all of a sudden, I woke up like, like that, right? And Maya had fallen asleep in bed with me, and she wasn't there. And I'm like,
How old was she?
Maybe, she started walking at 10 months, so maybe like 11 or 12 months old, a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Where's my baby?" So I'm looking for her. I can't find her. I go to my grandma's room, and I'm like waking her up. "Where's Maya?" Pulling the blankets back. "Where's Maya? I cannot find my baby." And then we are literally, she's on the phone about to call the police. I'm crying. I'm looking through the whole house. I walked down the basement step, and Maya was crunched down like this, sitting at the basement steps.
Okay, that's creepy.
And
oh my gosh.
I grabbed her, and my grandma grabbed her, and I didn't know she could do steps. She's a baby.
Yes,
She just
that should be
walked.
creepy for a baby. Why would a baby want to go down? Was it dark downstairs?
I mean, it was morning, so it was probably like 7 or 8 a.m.
But the fact that you had that dream and then that happened.
It was like I was looking for my baby, like something wasn't right. And then I called my mom and I was like, we need to bless this house. I am scared. What is happening? So my mom
when it
came
involves
over.
your baby.
What?
When it involves your baby, that's...
She wasn't scared at all. She was like down there crunched down and like laughing at me and my grandma like looking for her. But that's kind of her personality anyways.
Yeah.
But she was like, hee, what are you guys upset for? I'm fine. But yeah, so that even to this day, like it makes my heart happy.
My scariest thing was when I was 19. I was in college. And this is before I was doing any of this kind of stuff. I mean, I've always been into ghosts. So it was our freshman year of college, and a group of us wanted to go to the Chesterfield Manor. Have you guys heard of that?
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, the Chesterfield Manor is this rundown asylum. So it's illegal to even go there. You're not supposed to go there. But, we were 19. So we're like, Halloween time, let's go check out the Chesterfield Manor. So we go. There's like 2 carfuls of us. There's like 12 of us. Only 4 of us were brave enough to go, me being one of them. And so you got to walk through the woods to get to it. You can't just like park your car there. So that was kind of creepy in itself. We're walking through the woods. We get there. We get to the Chesterfield Manor. We see the rundown building. We're like, okay, this is really creepy. Let's go inside. So we go inside. There's graffiti all over the walls, wheelchairs, straight jackets laying, beds that are just, you almost look and it's like you could almost see like the imprint of energy. It's like you could almost see them, but you don't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We go a little bit farther down the hall. We're like in the middle of the building. And all of a sudden, I hear what sounds like footsteps, but they sound like it's someone upside down running on the ceiling towards us. And it's like they're getting louder and louder and louder. And this is a 1-story building. It was not 2-story. There should have been no one up on the ceiling. So we all hear it, and it's almost to us, and we scream. We run as fast as we can. I think I hit like a tree branch on my way out. We were running. We ran all the way to the car, so scared, all 4 of us, and that was the scariest thing I've experienced as far as like paranormal stuff.
You know what that reminds me of? When I was in high school, there used to be a place called the Equidome. Have you guys heard of that? I'm going way back to the 80s.
I think so. Yeah.
It was called the Equidome. I don't know what this place was for, but it was off Highway 94. I don't even know if it's still there, but nothing was going on there. This was just an empty, deserted building, and they called it the Equidome. And we went there, and we went inside. It's the same thing you said. We went inside. There was graffiti, but there were people. I'm guessing they were people. They had robes on, and they had like skeleton mask and other different kind of mask, like skulls or I don't know. It was really weird. And they were running around like this. And we were looking at them like, what
like
in the hell are they doing? I'm assuming they were real people because you couldn't see anything real on them. They had robes. They had the mask. They were running around. They were like, and they were like yelling at, and I'm like,
that's scary.
We left. We turned around and we walked right out. I'm like,
Look at her. She's like,
I want to do all that.
Where's the invite?
All that.
not today.
it was so, the energy in there was so like just evil.
Tell them about when you were sleeping and you thought someone was in your room walking up to you.
Oh, at the house I live in now.
Yeah, that was creepy. That was recent.
Yeah,
It was like
I
6
had
months
something
ago.
recent too.
I thought it was my youngest son, and I was laying there, and I definitely saw somebody walk in, and I know I was awake. I mean, and I opened my eyes, and it like further, and it just vanished.
And you talked to them too. I remember the story. You said you talked to them. It talked.
Did
back.
I talk to them?
Yes.
Well, tell me. I don't remember that.
What?
If I told you,
You were like, "What are you doing?" Because you thought it was.
oh, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was Jacob, and I did.
So you're like,
I
"What are
did
you
say,
doing?"
"What are you
and
doing?"
it said, "Hi," or something like that.
That's true. That did
answered
happen.
you.
Yeah, I forgot that.
That adds like a whole other level to it. And
Yeah,
then
that's
you were
true.
like, "What'd you say?" And it vanished.
And then it vanished, yeah. That's true. No, we did have a short. I forgot that.
Now,
My memory's horrible anymore, guys, but yes, that happened. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be things, I do readings all the time in my house because, I'm doing it online. And they'll just be like, they're not creepy. They don't bother me. I actually kind of like it. But I'll come downstairs and like, there'll be like a battery operated light that's just on. That happens all the time. My batteries are drained. All my little lamps that turn on, you know, with like the battery, like the control that are like up on the ceiling, they're all like burnt out now because that kept happening so much.
It's also your energy though, because you know, like a lot of psychics can't wear watches. Although, whose watch do you have on today? Because I keep noticing it's your grandmother's watch thing. Whose watch is this?
This is just my watch.
It looks old.
Probably because I don't take it off.
No, let me see.
Do you feel something about it?
Mm-hmm.
There is energy on it.
I was feeling a woman around you.
Well, that would make sense.
And I feel like that she, this is originally yours?
Yeah.
This wasn't anyone's before yours. Someone buy it for you?
I bought it for myself.
That's weird. I feel like it has like,
I put a lot of energy into it.
have you been having like some past life stuff coming up for you?
Interesting.
Because I feel like that there's something that's, do you mind me holding your hand? Sorry.
No, go for it. Let it all out. Let's see.
I just feel like that there's a lot of things where you're trying to feel like where you feel certain in your life right now. And there's a lot of big changes coming up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that you can feel it brewing, but you're like, I don't know how fast I can take things because like you do have a family. Mm-hmm. And I think it scares you because you feel like things getting pulled to be much bigger for you. And I don't think that you need to be afraid for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like that there's a very bold woman around you. Like I feel like that she would always like speak her mind.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And anyways, that's why she's like showing. That's why she's. She kept showing me this watch. But what I want to tell you is a lot of psychics cannot wear watches.
Yeah.
They blow out lights. They drain batteries because sometimes we'll go places and like the EMF reader will be going off on my energy.
So now you have a watch on though. So does your watch break a lot?
Hopefully not this one. It's only like a year old.
I know this one's only a year old too. It's new, but I don't ever take it off. Now you want to know why I wear this watch?
Why?
It's interesting. So there's an astrology aspect. So now you have to look up your Vedic sign, okay, for this to work. You look up what sign Venus is in, and you're supposed to wear a watch that's in relation to that, and it's supposed to bring like beauty and wealth into your life. So my Venus is in Leo, so gold would be associated with it, and this is also like a cheetah watch. So there's that like Mayan aspect with Leo. So this is just a little Amazon watch. This isn't anything fancy, but that's why. So there's a lot of energy in this. So maybe you're just picking up on like my energy of like manifesting, because there is a reason I wear this besides just style. You know
But
what I mean?
picked up on the woman too that we were talking about on the way.
Okay,
here.
so you're talking about my grandma. And
My mom.
Yes. So it's funny on the way here. You know, my mom's psychic.
I know she is.
Yes. On the way here, it's your story. You tell them what you said on the way here.
I just said that I didn't know if it was a dream or a vision. I just was tired and I just, whatever had happened. And I saw myself here saying, and then I said, but I'm probably not going to say it now because I'm right. But I saw myself saying, I think that Mama, we called her Mama, is going to be here at the podcast and somehow get brought up. And you just brought her up.
And you just brought her up.
So I think no coincidence.
She's with you guys all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, she is for sure.
Yeah.
And she just probably wanted to be known like, hey.
She wanted to be mentioned in the podcast.
Yeah.
Her name was Nancy.
I
feel like she wants me to say her name was Nancy.
Like, I'm more than just a grandma.
I feel like the end's a little rough for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that because she's like saying that she's glad you guys aren't just remembering her right at the end.
Yeah.
You guys are now remembering her like when she was cute, like when she was put
she was
together.
beautiful.
Because she's telling me that she's always glad that you guys wear makeup when you leave, like the house, like and you guys put yourself together. Like it makes her like proud. And because for several years you guys only were thinking about her death state and how she was feeling when she died, and now you guys are remembering more like the good parts about her.
Oh yeah.
When she had, this bright, beautiful energy.
She was prom queen and she was, just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Well, and now that I can just feel energy so much more than when she passed, I see her as she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally, literally, you know.
You've said that before, yeah.
Yeah, I see her. She pops in during my readings all the time. It's the funniest thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm giving you a reading. Oh, wait, that's my grandma talking to me, actually. Never mind.
I know, sometimes I have to
window.
go, hey, it's not about me right now.
Because you're tuned in and they see that window of opportunity to tell you something. Because if you try to just connect with your loved one on your own, your brain gets in the way.
Yes.
And so when they see, oh, you're tuned in and you're focused on them, I can sneak a message in for you.
Yeah. I also think that that's a good way to know that you're on the right track in your life when you are getting something back for yourself. And I think in any line of work that you do, just like Gina, when you're investigating, like it's another part, and you get those holy grails, you get those moments. You're like, that was for me. That was for me to know that whatever I'm doing, that there's a bigger purpose for me doing it, even if we don't get it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think that's kind of, it's like we were saying earlier, it's always been something I've been interested in, and it's such a rare experience for something that big, right? So then when I had it, it was like, I don't know, it was a real big moment for myself. And then we had another one. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Goldenrod Showboat.
Yes.
So that was parked in Campsville, Illinois. And it sat up there for a long time, and we got a call to come check it out. So we actually got to investigate that, and that was also in my top 5. I would say that was number 2. We got to go on the boat by ourselves and investigate the whole boat because there were lots of stories coming from the caretakers who had it. And I actually saw, which this is something I've never experienced before. It's only one time in my life. But there were 4 of us, and we all saw it, so I knew I wasn't crazy. It was one of those moments where I was like, did you guys see that? So I know I'm not nuts. But we were standing on the stage looking out into the seats, and there was a ball of light that bounced through the seats, and it ended on the captain's chair, which one of the stories was that the captain would show himself around the boat and like walk around the boat and be in his seat from time to time, and you would smell his cigars and stuff like that. And we saw this ball of light kind of bounce and then just dissipate into the captain's chair. That was a wild experience.
That's cool.
Another holy grail moment for myself, though. I was like, that's why I do this, because that was weird.
Have you always been interested since like you were, because I've always been interested in this stuff since I can remember.
Yeah.
Have you all always been interested?
Since
like,
too young to even understand why I was into spooky stuff, even as a child. Yeah.
Same.
It's not a phase, Mom, you know.
Another house that I grew up in was, so we lived like in the same neighborhood, right? My mom and my grandma, and like different times basically I lived there. You guys lived next door, right, to each other. So you know how it is. So it's like
this
her
is
kids
so
are your
weird, the
kids.
synchronicities. I live next door to my mom.
Yeah. Well, and it's like weird that
Seriously?
we always
Yeah.
say that we live in a different part of town, but like a lot of the things of our upbringing are very similar.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about that before, but so similar situation to that, you know, so your kids would feel like your house is their house without thinking about it. So it was like that. So we lived up the street, and my grandma had bought this house from, originally had bought this house from my mom's friend's mother, and my mom's friend had passed away in the garage. But my mom was never, my mom isn't really scared of much, but she was never scared of it. And she said that when I was a baby in my crib, like, you know, just bouncing around, that I used to talk to her friend. And we'd be talking and playing and talking in there. And she said one day he just left, but she knew that he was just playing with me, and he was a nice guy, you know, like when he was living. And so that's like the first story that I heard about myself. The first time that I really remember seeing something was when I was 7. And it was Christmas time, and my brother Ethan, who is like 8 years younger than me, he had this imaginary friend, which we always think like, you know, spirit guide probably, right? And he called him Timmy, and he would like hand him toys, and the toys would drop, and it was just like normal that Ethan had this friend. Well, it was Christmas time, and I see this little boy that was like shining light, like gleaming at the Christmas tree, and he was like in an outfit that kind of looked like Ethan's. And I was like, hey, buddy, like, you need to get back to bed. And when he turned and looked at me, I was like, oh, you're dead. You know, like, and so I like, well, you're dead. Oh, you're dead. And I remember that I got like super scared, and I ran into bed, and I like put the blanket over my head. And so the next morning, my mom's like, comes to wake me up, and I was like, Mom, Mom, and she goes, oh, I see him all the time. She goes, and she explained exactly what I've seen. She was like, I was wondering, like, she was excited. Honey, I was wondering when you were going to tell me you were seeing spirit. Like, she was like, all
She's so
excited
proud
about-
of you.
Yeah, she's like, I just knew it was going to happen. I was so excited. I'm like, it was scary.
That's so funny because so I have little kids, like
Yeah.
they're 6, 4, and 2, and they'll do the classic, at nighttime, like, I'm scared, there's a ghost. What does he look like? Tell me all about him. And I'm like, wait a second, aren't you supposed to tell your kids, like, no, it's not real? I'm like, no, tell me all about him.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not to be scared of, just tell them, it's time for me to go to bed. Please leave, But it's just funny, it's like, am I traumatizing my kids? They're gonna grow up and be like, well, my mom used to tell me to talk to the ghost and ask them questions.
Or
And,
maybe they'll end up developing their gifts and not be afraid.
yes, a lot of kids, they can see, they have the gift, and their third eye closes because they're taught that it's not real.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not happening in this house.
Yeah, no, I was not treated like that. This was a taboo thing for me.
Yeah.
Now, I was treated, though, that you can't tell everybody, like, what you can do. And that comes, I think, from a long line of family members being persecuted for what they did or what they didn't do. And even now, I still have sometimes, I don't just like, hey, I don't think I would call myself a medium if other people wouldn't be able to resonate that that's what I did.
Yeah.
I would
just
say
feel
that
energy.
I like to, I read energy. I like to be in the white light. Like, that's what I would say more, I think. But otherwise, people can't put you in a little box. But there still is obviously this taboo about it.
Like, I'm just someone who's at the right place at the right time to give a message.
I feel like that happened to me in grade school. I was having a slumber party, and it must have been like 4th grade. It was the first slumber party we were ever having, and I told this little girl, I don't know why I did either. I think I felt like I was making it up, but not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does feel like you're making it up.
Yeah, and I was telling her all these things like, oh, this is going to happen to your dog, and, your brother's going to do this and whatever. I don't even remember what all I told her. And it all happened. And she was so scared, she told her mom. She told the teacher, first of all. And the teacher called me down to the principal's office like I was in trouble. Why were you telling her all these things? And I was like, I didn't know what to say. And then her mom called my mom, and she didn't want to come to the house. And then we ended up saying, my mom was like so open about everything.
Yeah.
But she was so cool about it. She's like, just tell her that you're not going to talk about any of that and that everything's going to be fine. And, you're going to have a good time. And so she ended up coming, and everything was fine. We didn't go there. But there is a tab. I mean, there was then, there's still. Like, I'm sure if that happened nowadays, the parents would be like, tell your kid to stop telling my kid. And
I think also part of it is like the tool that you use to communicate. Because I know a lot of people, they'll just sit there and I can just give you intuitive information and you'll take it. But if I get those tarot cards out, a lot of people are scared of the cards. I don't know if have you experienced that also? It's interesting.
I think most people that are most scared are because they've had some sort of experience and they denied themselves. Just actually 2 weeks ago, somebody very close to me was like, I don't know how I could trust you. You see ghosts. And I'm like, you see ghosts too. What?
Did they know they saw ghosts?
They've told me over the years, but it was like it's something in themselves that they feel insecure about, and so they want to put it onto somebody else.
It's really like, and all the time we've been doing this, the conversations always tend to start off the same. It's like, oh, that stuff's kind of cool, but you can tell that's like, that's weird. But this one time, and you're like, yeah, keep going with it. And then you can get people to open up and start talking about it. And then all of a sudden their experience is much bigger than what they were leading on to. And then you're not so weird, but it's always in the beginning. It's always like, well, maybe I've seen. And then if you just poke them a little bit, they'll
don't
kind
you
of
feel
open
like
up.
everyone's got a story, though?
Yes,
I mean, everyone's
for
got a
sure.
story.
That's why I just loud and proud. Anywhere I go, I'm not, whatever. And most time, you'll hear someone and they'll say something. And it's happened every time where we'll be in a group of people and, I don't know them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, the sun's in Cancer and the moon's in Aquarius. And they're like, oh, my gosh. And then, they start talking where a lot of people would be embarrassed to be like, oh, I'm super woo-woo. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, I am in medicine, so I work with a lot of very analytical people.
Oh, yeah.
But you would be surprised. I mean, it's hard not to see miracles, right? When you're living it.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you ever feel drawn to give a message while you're at work?
I
a
try to
patient?
keep things. I try not to tap in too much because it gives me a headache, because the energy is so strong already in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, if I get an intuitive hit, I'm like, put another IV in somebody. You know, like if I get a feeling like this isn't going to be good,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, I speak up.
yeah.
But I think that that's also experience as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that most experienced nurses, doctors, when they are
They
like,
use intuition.
something about this dot is not clicking, you know, is not
Yeah.
connecting. I do think that there is an intuition. And I feel like with most things, when you don't feel the spirit of really wanting to heal,
Mm-hmm.
then you go into a different division of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because healing is reading energy and listening to your intuition, and it's hard because sometimes you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that, or why didn't I do, you know? So it's very challenging, especially I think in labor and delivery, because things change so quickly, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of nurse that I am. But I will tell you this one experience that I had during COVID, where I was, you know, completely garbed up. So you could only see my eyes. I probably didn't have any makeup on. I had a big mask on. And this patient, she was delivering, and it was when we could have two people instead of one. So it was probably towards the tail end. And her mom had stuff on for her brother who had passed away. And I was picking him up the whole time that there was this guy there, and he was like watching over them. So it's just us in the room. And she starts telling me her brother had passed in a car accident and, you know, all the things. But I just kind of was like, well, I know he's here with us, you know, and was like hugging them, but not really like going into what I was picking up. I just knew he was there. Well, about 2 years later, there was a tornado. I was doing a reading. There was a tornado coming through the neighborhood. So we're all sitting down into this basement, and I'm just doing the reading. We're all sitting on the floor doing this reading, group reading. And all of a sudden, this woman with this beautiful red hair just starts bawling. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what did I say? You know, I felt really bad. I don't like to make people cry. And she's like, you were my labor nurse. And she goes, I knew my brother was there the whole time. And she goes, and you just, and I guess I had read her, and it was her brother coming through, and it was like about her birth and about these things. And it was like, it was just crazy synchronicity.
It came full circle.
It came full circle. And I didn't even remember her. Because I don't remember, her hair was pulled back, you know, she was more swollen, she was pregnant, and I didn't even put two and two together.
That is cool.
Wow.
That was an experience. And
It
then I
just-
delivered her second baby by chance. I was supposed to go home. I was supposed to go home on low senses because there was nobody in. She rolled in labor, and I delivered her baby, her second baby.
That's like the
Wow.
universe just putting the
That's
puzzle
amazing.
pieces
Yeah.
together.
I just like think it.
Yeah. And that's when she was supposed to hear the message. It wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
So the universe made sure to
Synchronicities.
get you guys together. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool.
Synchronicities seem to be the theme of tonight with everything we've been talking about, just
Yes.
with our moms and
Yeah. And your best friend was Gina.
Yeah.
Oh,
growing up for many
There's another
years.
synchronicity.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
A lot going
Really.
on. We're almost out of time, but let's go ahead and let's just all pull a tarot card and see what we get.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can share it with the viewers.
Sure.
Okay.
Do what you feel called to do. We'll pull one.
Okay, this is my card.
Oh, you got the lovers. Okay.
The lovers. Do you want to
We're-
put it back in or no?
No, that's your card.
Oh, I keep
We're
it.
all
Okay.
just gonna.
I'm
we're
keeping
just
that
gonna-
lover's
we're gonna-
card.
We're just gonna all pull one and kind of. We're giving a collective message to everyone. So just
Oh, you
tap
had a
into
jumper.
that.
Jumper. You got a jumper.
I know I love the jumpers. That's what. That's
This is
what
a
we're
collective.
Doing.
This is all four of us together.
Yeah, we're each telling
Yeah.
the viewers this is their collective.
Okay.
And if you guys in the show notes, go check out the show notes because I have everyone's information. If you're interested in contacting anyone, following anyone on social media, that information will be in the show notes. You got your card?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys need a minute to tune into your card, I can start. You need a minute? Do you need a minute to tune in? Or do you know do you know the message for your...
Is this the message for the collective watching?
Yeah.
Not just for us four. This is for like a
This
bigger...
is for everyone watching.
Yeah, everyone watching. See, I don't normally read cards, so...
I don't either, so I don't know what my card means.
When
You just
I
look
saw
at the
the
picture
lovers,
energy.
Yeah.
Just look at the picture and ask what it is telling you. And maybe it could be like a metaphor, an analogy, or maybe you psychically get something from it and you're like, this is what people need to hear. You think on it. We'll do you last.
Okay.
If you know what you're going to say, go ahead.
I don't know what I'm going to say, but that's all right. I don't care. When I look at the lovers, I just think of me and my husband because we are soulmates, and I think we're soulmates, and no matter what we go through, honestly, we've been through ups, downs. We've been married 37 years, and that's what I think of. I think of him. He's by my side through thick and thin. Doesn't matter. I mean, that's it. That's
awesome.
it. And I know it's not the
beautiful.
collective, but if you have someone in your life, you know, that you're soulmates, you feel like you're a soulmate, or maybe you're going to find a soulmate. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you're talking to your soulmate. I got the 7 of Cups. And when I'm looking at the energy of this card, it makes me feel like you might be in a dark place. Like literally look, the card's dark. You might be in a dark place, but know that from that darkness, and then I'm seeing the vision of like a seed being planted, and then it's like you have no idea the beautiful tree that you're going to become. And it's going to lead to many, many things, not just one thing. It's going to lead to many, many, many things. So you're in your darkness, but you're being planted. Something amazing is coming for you if you're watching this. I promise you. Do you know?
I love that. So I got the 5 of Cups, right? Is that 5? Yeah, 5 of Cups.
That's 5 of Cups.
6.
Or 6?
That's 6. 6 of Cups.
6 of Cups. Okay.
But what I was thinking about, I can't do my numerology, Roman numerology. What I was thinking about, sorry, I'm like kind of going to spirit. I was thinking about that the last few months have been really heavy for people, kind of going off of your card. And this is a time when you're supposed to reflect on what you feel like you need to release and what you feel like you need to grow. It is a 9-year, even though this card is not a 9. It's a 9-year, so it's a lot about the crumbling and what you can find in the destruction, kind of like your tree, and what can change and what can be rebuilt. Mm-hmm. And this is really a year of higher minds, higher education, and we're doing this in what used to be a college.
Yeah. How funny is that?
So all higher minds.
So I don't read cards and I'm not psychic, but I don't know what this card is.
It was the 10 of Wands.
Here, I will tell you what I took from it though.
Wait, can you see what that?
It has
a 10 of Wands.
It has an X.
It's 10 of Wands
on it.
10 of Wands.
And to me, it's more like X marks the spot. I just feel like you're where you need to be experiencing the things you need to be experiencing, and to have faith in that. That's what I took from it.
Was that your first time reading a tarot card?
No, it wasn't. But I don't read them.
Well, that was really good.
Oh, well, thank you.
Right?
I'm a little intuitive.
You're Italian, and I'm
of,
pretty sure that the Italians created some of the first tarot cards.
Oh,
maybe.
So it's got to be in that bloodline.
Yeah.
that was good. I took mine personal.
That's okay.
That's the first thing when I saw
that's
this.
okay.
That's
I took
beautiful.
it inward. So, you know.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow and let me know in the comments what is the spookiest thing that's happened to you. I can't wait to read them. Okay? We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.